Welcome back to Giant Monster Week 2, where we are reviewing giant monster movies every day this week leading up to the release of Godzilla. Today we're looking at probably the most iconic brawl ever, King Kong vs. Godzilla. I've reviewed both of these monsters' original films, so let's do the one they appear in together and fight each other. This is one of the only Godzilla films I never saw in my youth, probably because it was really hard to find back in the VHS days. But recently it came out on Blu-ray, which is how I obtained this movie for this review. This film was a big deal for several reasons. It was the first time each monster had been in a color movie. It was the first time King Kong had been in a movie since 1933, and now it was 1963. And of course, it was the East versus the West. I enjoyed the build-up this movie started with, having a somewhat serious tone but still a little cheesy. By the end of the movie, the tone had shifted completely to just being cheesy. It puts a smile on your face, honestly, and I loved it. Let's talk about the contenders. You've got Godzilla, who has a new suit that looks fairly good, but the expression on his face looks a little dopey sometimes. This film also marks the debut of the color of his atomic breath. And then we have Kong. The suit, well, it's quite something. Again, the expression on his face, completely dopey. When this film was being made, the decision was made to make Kong the size of Godzilla, otherwise, well, it wouldn't have been a fair or entertaining fight. The highlight of this film, of course, is the fight, and it's quite fun to watch. Kong throws rocks, Godzilla uses his tail and atomic breath, they wrestle around. Probably the most iconic part is Kong shoving a tree down Godzilla's mouth. There's a scene where the two monsters are farther away on screen, and they look like little toys that someone is slapping together. It's hysterical. There's also about 2 seconds of stop motion, which comes out of nowhere and you just laugh. It might have been a little tribute, though. Kong seems to gain strength from electricity quite a few times in the film. Not something typical of Kong, and there's a reason for that. Originally, this movie was going to be Frankenstein vs. Godzilla. Yeah, I'm dead serious. It was going to feature a giant-sized monster created by Dr. Frankenstein. The idea was changed with Kong taking Frankenstein's place, but the electricity element remained in the script. But Toho, the company behind making the Godzilla films, didn't scrap this idea completely, and did actually make a Frankenstein movie called Frankenstein Conquers the World. It even had a sequel, War of the Gargantuans, which is a cult classic. I got a little off topic, so anyway, who wins? Well, there was a rumor going around since the film came out that there was a double ending, with Godzilla winning in the Japanese cut and Kong winning in the American cut. I remember reading about this as a kid in a Godzilla book I rented from my school's library. Well, the double ending is completely false. There are 2 cuts of the film that contain minor differences, but the ending is the same in both for the most part. I just want to add, is there a winner? Because people seem to say it's a draw, but it kind of looks like there's a clear winner to me based on what the film presents to us. I don't know, it's not a big deal. This movie in the end feels like a cheesy time with fun entertainment in an old school monster brawl. I loved it. 31 Film Talk movie grade for King Kong vs. Godzilla. We're gonna go with a solid B.